family. It's your favorite queer radio personality, Anna DeShawn here, and welcome back to the show. You know, we are in the midst of our LGBTQ political series highlighting some of my favorite queer politicians from across the country. And today, I definitely got one of my faves. Ken Mejia-Beal is in the building. What's going on, Ken?
It is so good to be here finally. And you do an amazing job, and I'm just happy to do what I can to help out a little bit.
Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Ken, I believe we met through Kelly. And you came and you did a chat at Affinity. I think maybe that was one of the first times we met.
Yes. My God, I didn't even remember. You know how you meet people and you sometimes go, how did we meet? That is exactly how we met. You are 100% right. January of 2020.
And now I see you everywhere. And I want to make these fun, right? And I think politicians have fun too. And we, of course, from time to time, right? Y'all have fun?
Yes, on Thursday nights after 7 p.m. That's it.
That's it. Well, you already know we do this podcast through E3 Radio. And so I got to ask you some music questions to get this thing kicked off. Because I believe you do have fun out here in the world.
I do.
So tell the good people, what is your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, so if I'm sober, the answer is just no. The answer is no. Give me a couple of martinis, Lionel Richie, Zoom.
Oh, okay.
It's smooth and it's just smooth.
I'm here for a Lionel Richie moment.
Yeah, didn't see that coming. Lionel Richie Zoom is like the perfect karaoke. You kind of croon. You don't have to know all the words. It's kind of repetitive. Nice tempo. Like, give me Lionel Richie Zoom.
Okay. And then right now, in whatever platform you use to listen to music, what's the song getting the most rotations right now?
Move by Beyonce.
Yeah.
Yes.
Renaissance.
Yeah.
Come on.
3 times today. 3 times today for no reason.
No reason at all.
Yes,
I love it.
It's so good.
I love it. And then if you were a singer and out here in the world and you had one dream collab with an artist, who would that artist be?
Jesus. Okay. So I'm sorry. That was a hard one. I'm going to go with Madonna. I'm a huge fan, and it's a lot of history there, a lot of ambition, and just a lot of camaraderie. So I'd go with that.
Okay, Madonna.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Okay. I'm here for Madonna.
Yeah.
You know, earlier in the year, she was sick, and she talked about how her kids really came to her rescue and really aided her back to health. And
family is everything.
I think so many of this generation have no idea who Madonna really is.
Correct.
And there's no reason why maybe they necessarily should. She has taken herself out of the spotlight in so many ways. But for any 80s babies out here, we definitely know Madonna in her heyday.
And I have a special spot for her. I mean, I grew up in a conservative family. So I think without Madonna, my family would have never talked to me about sex. We would have never talked about AIDS. We would have never talked about condoms. So it was something about that energy that made it kind of acceptable to talk about it. And if you had young kids, you kind of had to explain certain things. So it really pushed a lot of conversations forward in houses like mine.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, Ken, tell the good people where you serve politically. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe how many years you've been in service.
Let's talk about it. So let's
start there.
I am the Democratic Chair of DuPage County in Illinois. So what that means is it's my responsibility to manage and maintain the Democratic Party in DuPage County. The reason that's so big, for those that don't know, DuPage County is the second largest county in Illinois. And before 2016, it was the second reddest county in the country. It was one of the most conservative counties in the country. And in 2021, here I am, this Black kid from the south side of Chicago, openly LGBTQ, decides to run. And there were so many people that said, that boy is wasting his time. There's no way these people are going to vote for him. He has 2 strikes against him. And I won in a landslide. I just ran for re-election, ran and won in a bigger landslide. So it just goes to show how much the world can change under the right leadership and just people working together and meeting each other.
And let's talk about the audacity it takes to run in the second largest county in Illinois, behind Cook. Okay.
Yes.
Behind Cook County. And be as Black and gay as you want to be. What in the world were you thinking, Ken?
I wasn't.
What?
I probably had too many martinis. No. Honestly, what I was thinking, so over the course of DuPage County, there were so many candidates, Latino candidates, Black candidates, Muslim candidates, that were told, well, you can't run because you are not a straight person with children, or you can't run because your name is too Hispanic, or your name is too Muslim, or you are too Black to run in this district. You will not be accepted here, here, and here. And I got tired of sitting in these rooms and listening to these quote unquote leaders telling people that because of things they have no control over, not only can they not run, how dare they have the audacity to even mention it. So that was one of the big things when I said I'm going to run. It really wasn't just for me. It was for every single person of color that's been told no, every LGBTQ person that was told they were too queer or not straight enough. I do this for people like us. And since I've been chair, we have the most diverse county board that we've ever had in the history of DuPage. We have 3 Asian Americans on the board. We elected our first African American to the board. We have an openly LGBTQ representative here in DuPage now. And that's because I believe in them. And as a leader, you need somebody to just believe in you. And it all starts from leadership, I think.
It always starts there.
Yes.
I couldn't agree with you more on that point. How have you felt like the people of DuPage have received you?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you because I don't sugarcoat anything. So you have a huge percentage of people that are very supportive, right? And then you have, as I like to call it, the faction of old school racism. And what that means is these are not the people that are going to burn crosses on your yard or like lynch you. These are the people that will degrade you on social media without degrading you. They're the people that'll go, well, Ken, you said you do X, Y, Z, and this hasn't happened. Copy and paste 50 million things you said 12 years ago before you even moved into DuPage County. You also have the people that will just do whatever they can to make you less than, to make you feel less than, to make you feel like you are not doing a good job. And, when I ran, for the first time in our election history, we had a group of angry white men that printed out pamphlets of how horrible I am and how I'm not educated, how I'm a criminal, I all this horrible stuff that I've allegedly done. They're passing it out to people. But this is what I choose to focus on. As I'm shaking my voters' hands, there were people that walked into that room going, I didn't know who to vote for. And I think you're a great guy. I got this pamphlet. I am going to vote for you because this is not who we are in the year 2022. And that's where I choose to focus. There's always going to be racism, bigotry, homophobia, but I choose to focus on the people that don't play into it. That is our focus.
And I think you got the focus in the right spot.
Yes.
We really can't be concerned, right, about the others. No, we got to focus on those that are there and supporting us. There's like some quote that goes, a lie will travel faster than the truth on any day, right?
Absolutely.
And it's so easy for us to focus on the hard or the bad.
Absolutely.
because it takes so much energy out of us, rather than supporting all the good. Because I
Absolutely.
do believe the good definitely always will outweigh that which is bad.
It will. And especially, I will say this, when you are a person of color in a white setting, your reputation is sometimes all you have. So we fight hard for that. We fight so hard for it. But the reason I kind of let that go is I figured out my reputation is my truth. And for the people that don't believe my truth, me explaining my truth is irrelevant because they don't believe me.
Just that simple, ain't it?
Yep, they don't believe me.
But Ken, why politics? There's a lot of ways we can affect change in the world, but why did you want to do it politically?
I've always hated politics, and I mean that. I got into it because I was a huge HIV/AIDS activist in my early 20s. And I met Art Johnston, who has been a mentor to me, and God bless that man. I would not be here if it were not for him. And on my bad days, I say, damn you, Art Johnston. But he inspired me and put me in all the right places to meet all the right people. And then I started working with other politicians and saying, we should do this and we should do that. And I got tired of every time there was a Black issue in particular, it got pushed to the back burner. Every time. Like, well, these are more important things right now, so we got to focus on that. I got sick of it. So that's when I got into politics, because I am determined that our issues, Black issues, are just as important as everybody else's issues, and they deserve a voice in a room too. That's how I got here. I stumbled in and I haven't left yet.
I know that's right.
I'm still here.
And what do you think are some of the biggest issues facing Black and queer folks today?
Yes. So health disparities, number one through 5, Black people, when you look at our zip codes, our life expectancy is so much lower because violence, number one. But we have, as a Black community, we have an abundance of talent. We have an abundance of grit. We have an abundance of determination. What we don't have is an abundance of resource in our community and education. That's our biggest, so that's also dovetails into that. What also is affecting the Black community, the economy, is huge for us. If you are working in a corporate American setting, if you are a Black person, you are more than likely to get laid off during massive layoffs, because more than likely you are newer, just because of the way the process works. So there's that. So we have food insecurity as well, which ties into health. So healthcare, wellness care, resources, education, these are all things that disproportionately impact the Black community. And we have to talk about it to fix it.
And so how do you have these conversations in DuPage County, child?
Yes. So
what does
let's
that look
talk
like?
about it. Let me pull up a chair. So at first, I would have these conversations without mentioning the word Black, right? Because you're always taught like you don't want to alienate. And then I would leave these rooms and people say, Kim, that was really good. What are you talking about exactly, though? So I had to figure out a way to do it. And I just finally one day I was so frustrated. And I think it was just out of anger. I was like, well, let's talk about Black people. And I just laid it out. And for the first time, it was very clear what I meant because I said what I meant. So I've just never stopped saying what I meant. When I am talking about Black people, I say Black people. If I'm talking about the LGBTQ community, I say it. I put a name on it.
It is so important that we name it, isn't it?
Yes, we have to name it.
It is so incredibly important.
Yes.
Right. I think we don't for a number of reasons. I think we cannot say something because of safety. We can try to not say something because we want to keep a mask on or try to be politically correct or pleasing or people pleasing. And absolutely. I think, I know personally I'm at a point in my life where I'm shedding all these masks all the time and working to be more vulnerable, right? And just speaking my mind and my truth all the time. And I find that when I'm as specific as I could possibly be, the words that come out of my mouth make so much more of an impact because people are clear on who I'm speaking of. And I think we've done a little bit of an injustice actually to society by trying to people please or to be politically correct when we just need to say what we need to say.
Well, we've compromised ourselves out of power. In our attempt to do better for our community, we have compromised ourselves out of the room. Because it doesn't matter if I'm in the room or you're in the room, but we're not talking about us. We have literally compromised our table. We've compromised our seat. So we as a people have to collectively stop doing that.
Say more.
Well, we get in these rooms, and we say we're not going to say this, we're not going to say that, we're not going to say this, and then we leave the room. We have not done a damn thing for our community. We've done nothing because we've compromised on being polite instead of being genuine and authentic. So I would rather leave a room and people say, wow, that guy was a little rude, but he had some good points, than, wow, that was a really nice guy. I don't know why he showed up here. There you have
That
it.
part. That
Right.
part. I never want people to leave me and not be clear on who I'm looking to serve and where my priorities lie.
Absolutely.
I love it, Ken. If you could lead the good people maybe with a word, maybe it's encouragement, maybe it's motivation around why being politically active is so incredibly important.
Well, the reality is, even if you are involved in politics, not involved in politics, it's involved with you. Politics it can either be the ex that's stalking you, or it can be your long-term lover. Because politics can never be your spouse because they change it up too quickly. But when you approach politics like an angry ex-spouse, all these things are happening. You have no idea why it's happening. Like, why is the gas prices going up? Why don't I have any money in my savings account? Why am I always getting laid off? But when you approach it like a long-term lover, it's like, okay, we've been down this road before. Instead of looking at my opportunity to get laid off, let me start saving a little. But to do all the things that make politics work for people, we have to collectively stand up and start asking for more. Livable wages, Medicare for all. We got to start asking for these things. We have to start demanding these things. And we have to start telling people our stories. Because you can put all the data in front of anybody. Data is just numbers. It's not a story. I want to hear stories, and I think it's important that we share these stories, especially from our community, because we cannot have people outside of our communities talking for us, about us, and to us. We got to do it ourselves.
Every time. Thank you, Ken. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Ken is that LGBTQ political figure that you should know. Ken, tell the good people how they can follow you.
Okay, so you can follow me at KMB for DuPage on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you can go to www. I don't have to say www anymore. What am I, 100 years old? DuPageDemocrats.com. What is wrong with me? DuPageDemocrats.com.
You were tapping into your AOL.com days.
What
I heard the dial-up. I heard the dial-up, Ken. I heard the dial-up right there. Family, Kid is an LGBTQ politician you need to know, even with his www, okay? So go follow, stay connected, and donate. Okay.
Please, we need it.
Thanks, Ken.
Thank you so much.